will get the free kick. Well, holding the man, says the umpire. It doesn't really matter that much. He's still got it. Now what's happening here? Another 15-metre penalty. I don't know how many we've had tonight. That's about the 7th or 8th. And it's only the first quarter, 15 minutes gone. Up towards the forward pocket, off the hands of the pack. Knocked away, and we'll see a boundary throw in some 15 metres around from Hawthorn's goals.
And the score, Hawthorn 2-3-15 to Collingwood 2-1-13, approaching the 17-minute mark of this first quarter. Only 20-minute quarters the first two. Ball coming out to Turner. He's having a bit of trouble. They all are down there at the moment in front of the Hawthorn goal. The umpire will ball it up about 30 metres out from that goal. Waiting on Moore. And Scott to go with this one. It's Scott getting the knockout. A beautiful knockout to Henry, and a goal coming up. I would say no, it's right across the face, a goal. And through for 1 point. So they go to 2 goals for 16. Hawthorn to Collingwood 2-1-13. And of course, this is a much better side than played Collingwood on Saturday, Bob.
Very much so, Lou. And it's interesting that Collingwood kicked both goals in 2.5 minutes. So it's been 15 minutes now since Collingwood have posted a goal on the board.
Well, the big part about that too, Bob, is that they didn't get off balance, Hawthorn. There's Scott going with a punch again. Chance now for Collingwood to get the ball, that time through Picking up there high as it goes up high. No, getting up high that time was Davis. Couldn't hold that mark. Picked up by DeWall. Goes for the boundary line. He's put it out on the full. And we're approaching the...
It might have been Kennedy, Louis.
Yeah, it might have been Kennedy. I thought it was DeWall because he's on Davis. 15-metre penalty.
This has got to be a joke.
Well, I don't know what they've given now, so this gives...
It's about the 8th.
Well, the free kick going out here to Byrne. He should land this in the goal square. Ball driven right up there towards the full forward zone. Austin in front. Couldn't hold that mark. Down it comes to Goss. He gets a touch of the fumbles. Tuck doesn't. He boots the ball back down towards Scott. The crowd giving him a bit of a hoot now. Scott going after. He's not giving in until he got a free kick, Scotty. The umpire's paid it. He quickly pays on, drives the ball down towards that half-forward line. There's a chance now for Turner to get it. Henry's there. Magro goes down. He can't pick it up. They're all piling in there, and the umpire, what's he going to do about this? Ball it up. It'll be a ball up on that half-forward on about 45 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. Approaching the 19-minute mark of this first quarter. Scott in front. Well, actually, neither of them got that knockout at that time, and finally there's still a bit of a scrimmage as Rice falls to the ground, trying to get it out there to Manane, and he's got the free kick. He was grabbed and he didn't have the ball. He boots it up towards the goal square. Wilkinson goes down as a go now for Eden. He's put it through, and another goal to Hawthorn.
Well, a great piece of play by Rodney Eade that time, Lou, and I noticed that they're making Wilkinson a focal point at full forward, and I feel sure that Wilkinson's job will be to compete and compete and compete with McCormick every time, as long as the ball comes down to the ground. I do notice at this moment that Don Scott's down there congratulating Wilkinson for just that, for competing and getting the ball down so that the smaller players like Eade on that occasion can come through and finish it off. We watch it on the replay now. Wilkinson made no attempt to really mark it. He was trying to knock it down, and Rodney Eade coming in at the back of the pack.
That will be about the last kick of the quarter, because a lengthy delay in bringing the ball back in a quarter that has no time on. Sees the clock at 20 minutes even. There it is, the siren for quarter time, with Hawthorn leading 3-4, 22 to Collingwood 2-1-13. There's a little, well, let's say there's plenty of room in the members, but I would imagine at least 30,000 fans here for the grand final of the Escort Championships. Second quarter, which is also a non-time on quarter. Peter Moore got a mammoth punch, as good as a kick down towards half forward. Polkinghorn, Terry Moore. His kick, not a bad one distance-wise, up towards half forward. Henry behind, and a nice mark taken by Andrew Ireland. Play on, says the umpire. Ireland does just that. Goes in towards the centre, and again, another mark taken out there by Peter Moore. And we've got about a 15-metre penalty for the evening. The umpire's very hot on this evening. Moore from the centre. Not a bad kick either. O'Hanlon knocks it away for Hawthorn, not too far. Deep here, Domenico. Eade towards Don Scott. Getting the cheers of the Collingwood crowd, naturally enough, as it's raced over the boundary line for the Magpies by Worthington, and the throw-in to take place on Hawthorn's left half-forward flank. In fact, it's possibly a little bit more towards the centre wing position.
Well,
sorry, Louis.
I wouldn't like to see those two clash, Scott and Worthington.
It'd be interesting, but I think they bounce off each other. Ray Shaw, he had a fairly quiet first term for the Magpies. Not close to the boundary line again. Goss missed it for Hawthorn. Polkinghorne can't pick it up, neither can Wearmouth. Very scrambly out there, and the umpire wisely decides to come in and ball it up with 1.5 minutes being played so far in the second quarter.
And Hawthorn 3-4-22 to Collingwood 2-1-13 into the second quarter. Very big crowd, as Peter said before. Moore and Scott. It's Scott going for the grab. He's grabbed it. Umpire set hold on the ball against him. And the free kick will go to Banks. Banks is ready to play on. Collingwood forwards down there now. Can he find someone? There's a beautiful mark to Terry Moore. He's the loose man down there in defence at the moment. Over it goes to Kennedy. Another long one out there to Polkinghorne. He's having a bit of trouble picking this up, and it's out of bounds. Out of bounds on that half-forward line for Collingwood, about 70 metres around from their goal. It'll be Terry Moore against Peter Moore of Collingwood this time. Knocked out by Moore, actually, but Collingwood trying to get it clear through Carson Valley. Had a bit of a go, and finally it's kicked up by Tuck. Scott at the back goes for the tap down. A pretty good one to go. Back to Scott again. He kicks it along the ground, even though he can't pick it up. In goes Turner. He got one from Picken that time, and the umpire will pay a free kick. He's giving the free kick to Picken.
You've got to be doing.
What's that there, Bob? Can you work that out, honestly?
Picken was the fellow who raised the arm.
My God, that's amazing. Off the top of the pack it goes now. DeWald coming out of the pack, a hand pass. There's ball picked up now. Over it comes now to DPA Domenico. Domenico driving the ball up towards that full forward zone. There's a race between Wilkinson and McCormick. Will it go through for a goal? No, it goes right across the goals. Okay, it's 1 point. And they go to 3 goals, 5-23 Hawthorn to Collingwood 2-1-13 at the 3-minute mark.
Overwork the kick out from full-back down towards the member stand side on the half-back flank. Terry Moore, Peter Moore over the back to Rice. Rice in turn back towards the 10-metre square. Wilkinson from behind has the ball knocked. Oh, almost got it. Second grab, he's got it. But play on was the call from the umpire. Hawthorn player got pushed in the back, got a free kick. And that's Turner. His shoulder seems to be okay now after that knock from Picken. Turner hasn't scored a goal so far tonight, and he's only played a couple of senior games for Hawthorn. Usually plays ruck rover. Only 15 metres out, shoots for goal, hit the post. That's skewed off the side of it and through for 1 point. It was a real banana kick, that one. Not in the true sense of the word, but it's certainly in its flight through the air. And that behind takes Hawthorn to 3 goals, 6-24 to Collingwood 2-1-13. Certainly wasting a few opportunities up forward. Alan Goad missed an easy one at the other end. As McCormack kicks out from full-back, goes straight up the centre of the ground. Moore, that's the 2 Moores. You'll hear a few Moores and Shaws tonight. Ray Shaw up towards the centre wing position now. O'Halloran for Hawthorn playing half-back, in trouble. A hurried hand pass sees the ball over the boundary line, and we'll see a throw-in taking place right on the centre wing position in front of our commentary spot, adjacent to the VFL emblem. Peter Moore against this time Terry Moore. Terry Moore got hands to it, but picked up by Ireland. Ireland towards half forward for the Magpies. DP Domenico over the top. Grabbed, gets rid of it hurriedly. Goss looking for someone to give it to. Can't find anybody, so decides to kick the ball as long as he can towards half forward. Henry from behind, couldn't mark it. Picked up by Scott. Worthington's onto him. Rice to half forward for Hawthorn. McCormack behind. Couldn't take the mark from Wilkinson. He's hot on his hammer. A good duel between these two. Wilkinson gets the front posse. Trick, over he goes. McCormack over the boundary line. Boundary throw in.
5 minutes gone of this second quarter. 3 goals, 6-24 Hawthorn to Collingwood 2-1-13. The ball back into play again. Peter Moore got the knockout, going after his Wearmouth, couldn't quite make up his mind. Ireland picked it up now, boots it back towards the centre of the ground. Banks couldn't hold that mark. The ball pushed forward by Moore. Finally it's knocked over Rice, back to Polkinghorne. And it's Henry getting a fresh air shot there, and the umpire's going to ball this up a little short of centre half forward. 3-6 Hawthorn to Collingwood 2-1 in this Escort Championship final, coming to you live through Channel 7. Knocked out by Scott, a good one, but Magro backs up very well. He's in a bit of trouble, but he steers out of it nicely as he drives the ball back towards Betts. Can he mark it? Yes, he's got it. A mark to Betts at centre field. Not many players down there on that Collingwood forward line as he drives it out wide, looking for a lead. Chance there for Davis. He couldn't pick it up. Kennedy's right on his tail. Davis kicks it off the ground. DeWald backs up well, then he slips over. Picked up by Kennedy, over to Galvin Moore. Plenty of Moores out. Here's the ball's kicked along the ground. A chance now for Banks, but he's upended by DPA. A minute ago gets a hand pass out the gate. It's a bit long. He's in a bit of trouble here. Picked up nicely this time by Price. Price with a long kick up there looking for Austin and Davis. Neither can take the mark. Austin comes out with it. A hurried kick out wide. Carlson going after it. Rodney Eads right on his tail. It's on the boundary line. He's kicked it off the ground. And what is it, out of bounds? It'll be a throw in from that forward pocket. And this is about the first time it's been right down deep on the Collingwood forward line for about 15 minutes, Bobby.
Well, I think so, Lou. They didn't have a shot at goal after the seven-minute mark of the first quarter. And this is the first time it's got that close in this quarter.
OK, coming in for the knockout. It'll be Moore and Austin. Umpires found a free kick. It'll go to Terry Moore down there in the back pocket. And the score at the 7-minute mark, Hawthorn 3-6-24 to Collingwood 2-1-13.
Ball driven up towards the half-back line now. Hendry was the high flyer for Hawthorn. Picked up by Bill Valley for Collingwood. Tuck on his hammer. Gets his kick in. And Austin on his own. Easy as you like. I don't know whether Austin was surprised to get it, but he showed good judgment. There's no mistaking that. And he has a chance to bring up Collingwood's third goal and bring them to within 5 points of Hawthorn. Shouldn't miss from there. He's only 20 metres out directly in front. Jeff Austin. He's made no mistake. That's through for 4 points, and Collingwood come a little bit closer.
Kelvin Moore making one of his rare mistakes on that occasion. When Valley was coming down the ground, Kelvin took off for the goal square, thinking that Valley was going to do a long kick, but the kick dropped short into the waiting arms of Austin. And it's a gamble a backman has to take at times.
Sometimes, yes, but Valley's usually a pretty poor kick. He's not a great kick, Bob.
19 plays 24. Hawthorn still in front, but Collingwood coming back at them now as Valley gets another hand pass, this time to Byrne. Byrne with a long kick down towards full forward. Austin and Moore. Moore missed it, so too did Austin. Kennedy tries to get it out towards DeWald. He's having all sorts of trouble there, though, and a Hawthorn player, that's DeWald, got a push in the back, and he'll take the free kick for Hawthorn, only 15 metres away from the Collingwood goal line. He goes towards the outer side. Almost a mark there, but play on. Valley. Price. Into goal, fires, is offline, and this time Austin can't get there, and the boundary throw-in will be the order of the day. In the Collingwood forward pocket, the Magpies doing all the attacking now as they trail Hawthorn by 5 points in the grand final of the Escort Australian Football Championships. Wherever you're watching around Australia, hope you're enjoying it. Shot for goal by Anderson, looks pretty good. 4 points, Collingwood in front.
Great goal, that was a great goal, Bob, wasn't it?
Very quick, Lou, and it no sooner hit his hands than it was on the boot. A beautiful goal by Graham Anderson, and he certainly had his confidence up because he kicked 5 in the last quarter last Saturday. We watch it again on the replay. Banks up high, Anderson, and if you didn't know where the goals were, to look at Anderson the way he kicked it, you wouldn't believe that he could have got it through.
Through the players, he was certainly surrounded by them. So it's Collingwood 4-1-25 to Hawthorn 3-6-24, and as Bob Skilton said at the start of this comedy, this is going to be a real ring-a-ding-ding game. There's a bit of a clash there, and the umpires found a free kick to Moore. And who said that night football wasn't fair dinkum? By golly, you couldn't say that about this match. It goes out there wide towards Banks. They're going for the punch there, DP to Manigo. I couldn't get it out. The umpire's going to ball it up out there about 45 to 50 metres out from the Collingwood goal. Banks is certainly covered in mud there, but Collingwood. Moore going for this. This is Terry Moore against Austin. Austin got the tap down towards Tuck, but he fumbled. And there'll be another ball up in the same position. Still about 45 metres out from the Collingwood goal. They're a point in front at the moment. They got off to a tremendous start, kicking their first goals, 2 goals within 2 minutes of the start of the game. Knocked out by Austin again. A hurried kick by Collingwood. Finally, it's pushed out wide. There's a chance for Hawthorn to get it clear, and the umpire's going to ball it up again. Play very scrambly at the moment because it's very slippery out there. Apparently, there's been quite a bit of rain out this way before the game started, around in the afternoon. Ball up again. Terry Moore and Austin. Knocked out by Terry Moore. Picked up nicely by Price. He's grabbed it. The umpire says play on. DP to Manigo. Gets it over to Rice. It's a bit too long. The ball pushed away again. It's Wearmouth getting a hand pass to Moore. Umpires found a free kick to DP to Manigo against Collingwood. And he was against Shaw that time. Crowd going.
Collingwood fans don't think so.
Ball kicked over the centre half forward position. Punched away by Andrew Ireland. Grabbed again by Scott, and he's certainly getting the raspberry from the Collingwood crowd. That's Wilkinson knocking it back to Turner. If he can pick it up, he taps it on. Looking down there for Goad in plenty of trouble. Magro spins out of the pack beautifully like a real defender. Chance for Scott to mark it. And the crowd give him the raspberry again. He's not the most popular guy here with the 30-odd thousand people. I'd say 27,000 a barrack for Collingwood. Punched, there's Worthington flying up high. Nearly grabbed the mark on the line. It'll be out of bounds in the forward pocket, deep in the heart of Hawthorn's attacking zone. We're at the 11.5-minute mark of the second quarter. The Escort final coming to you live through Channel 7. Hawthorn 3-6-24. The Collingwood 4-1-25.
Picked up by Magro. This time he gets out of the pack yet again, but it's a mark for Hawthorn, taken by the glove, John Hendry. Hendry and Scott favouring the gloves tonight. Hawthorn, I think, are the only team that's used these in the championships of night. Whether they're effective or not, I think you'd have to ask the players that are wearing them. Hendry from 40 metres out has a shot for goal for Hawthorn. That's not bad. That's a goal. Hawthorn back in front.
Well, Bob, I'd say that the crowd here are more than 30,000.
Having a look around now, Lou, from the moment that game started, they've continued to come in, and I really think that it'll be close to 35,000 now, and that was, John Hendry's second goal, and Hendry really is back to the form that we know he can show.
Well, there you are.
Hawthorn now leading by 5 points. A game that certainly befits a grand final. Free kick to Hawthorn, an infringement on the centre square, taken by Goss. Goss goes up towards the full forward zone for Hawthorn. They all missed that one. Wilkinson comes out, picked up, well, in fact, almost by Warren. Free kick to Warren, playing his first game for the Magpies, and Graham Fellows was telling me before the match that this fellow comes from Casterton in Collingwood's area down in Western